Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' own Sir Calvert Jones has been recognized by the Organization of American States for his contributions to culture and the creative economy. Sir Calvert, recently honored with the Knight of Malta title, presented at the 10th Inter-American Meeting of Ministers of Culture, held virtually on November 13th and 14th. His presentation helped shape the Declaration and Plan of Action of Washington, D.C., a landmark framework aimed at strengthening cultural cooperation across the Americas. In an interview, Sir Calvert said it is a proud moment for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, noting that coming from a small island and making an international impact shows what the country's people can achieve. The Caribbean Community CARICOM has concluded its preliminary assessment of St. Vincent and the Grenadines general elections held on November 27, 2025. A 10-member CARICOM Election Observation Mission, or CEOM, observed over 85% of polling stations across St. Vincent. While noting some operational challenges, including long lines, inconsistencies at polling stations, and limited voter education in certain areas, the CEOM reported that the elections were conducted in an orderly and peaceful manner, with robust civic engagement. The mission also met with political leaders, civil society, and election officials to evaluate the pre election process, campaign conduct, and electoral preparations. A full report, including recommendations for future elections, will be submitted to the CARICOM Secretary General. The CEOM expressed gratitude to all stakeholders and the people of SVG for their cooperation in ensuring the success of the observation mission. Still on the local scene, veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira is calling on Dr. Kishore Shallow to do the honorable thing and resign as president of Cricket West Indies following his election to national office here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dr. Shallow, who won the North Leeward seat for the New Democratic Party, now holds political office, something Pereira says is incompatible with leading the regional cricket body. While the CWI constitution does not explicitly bar a sitting politician from serving as president, Pereira stressed that the spirit of good governance should guide Dr. Shallow's decision. Pereira noted that if Dr. Shallow steps down, the vice president of CWI would act as president, and he reiterated his call for a generational transition at the highest levels of West Indies cricket. Dr. Shallow has not yet indicated whether he plans to remain in the role. On to news in the region. Jamaica has secured a comprehensive international support package of up to US $6.7 billion over 3 years to aid recovery and reconstruction following Hurricane Melissa. The coordinated package involves the Caribbean Development Bank, CAF, IDB Group, IMF, and World Bank, combining emergency funding, sovereign financing, grants, and private sector investment. Early disaster financing allowed Jamaica to immediately access US $662 million for urgent needs. Recovery efforts will focus on resilient infrastructure, small business support, and long-term resilience. Technical assistance and policy advice will accompany funding, while private investment of up to US $2.4 billion is expected to supplement recovery. The initiative underscores a shared international commitment to help Jamaica build back stronger and more resilient against future disasters. Guyana's airspace remains fully open despite a recent warning from US President Donald Trump that the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela is closed to certain flights. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Egbert Field, Director General of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, confirmed that both domestic and international flights in and out of Guyana are unaffected. International flights to Trinidad and Colombia are using slightly adjusted routes, but there have been no disruptions to domestic flights near the Guyana-Venezuela border. Local aviators and Trinidad and Tobago authorities have also assured travelers that flights continue to operate normally, with no interruptions expected. Finally, on the international scene, U.S. manufacturing remained in contraction for a ninth straight month in November as factories faced slumping new orders and rising input costs tied to ongoing import tariffs. The latest survey from the Institute for Supply Management shows the manufacturing PMI falling to 48.2, with companies in transportation equipment reporting layoffs linked to President Trump's sweeping duties. Economists say the unpredictable tariff landscape continues to weigh heavily on the sector, even as some firms benefit from growing AI-related investment. Manufacturers also reported higher prices for raw materials, adding pressure to inflation. Employment in the sector fell for the 10th month, with businesses continuing to cut staff rather than hire. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WeFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.